Hi, my name is Jay Oza, and I want to talk to you about this blog that I recently read in the Harvard Business Review. It was written by a professor from University of Texas named Art Markman, and it had to do with companies trying to be both creative and productive. Can they both work together? Before I go into it, let me just kind of quickly define what these two terms are. Productivity, I think we all know. This is doing something in a systematic way to achieve a goal. Now, it could be a project, it could be a product, it could be a service. You want to do it as an effective and efficient manner within a certain period of time that can be measured. And that's what productivity is. Creativity requires both time and space. It's not as simple as like, I want you to be creative by the end of this week. You can't do that because creativity requires acquiring new knowledge, combining knowledge, different knowledge, so-called idea sets, and also taking some old ideas and applying it to something new or in a different way. So creativity, it requires time, it requires space, and it's not that predictable because you haven't done it before. Now you can systemize some of the tasks, but it's very hard to measure this. And companies really struggle with this. They want their employees to be creative, but at the same time, they want them to be productive too. Now, how do you make both of this work? Now, what Art Markman suggests is that the company should hire more people so that you're not pressured that to be productive. You may just say, I'm just going to disappear for a week because I'm working on something creative. But I think there's a bigger problem here, and it has to do with cultural. Companies' culture is around productivity. They understand that. They know how to measure that. They know how to compensate for that. With creativity, they pay a lot of lip service to that, but then they don't know how to measure that. They don't even know how to compensate for that. So as a result, they view creative people as more of an expense. They're basically becoming a sink, whereas the productive people are more of a source. And they tend to get promoted, they tend to get better positions, they have better opportunities, and the creative people end up leaving. Now, I have seen both creative people and productive people work well in a small companies, but not in a large company. Large companies are locked in being productive. They all tend to pay lip service around creativity, but they just can't make it happen. I just haven't seen it. Maybe there are companies out there, but I haven't personally seen it. Let me just give you my personal example. I used to work for big companies and then I became a consultant, an independent consultant, and now I primarily work with startups. And what I do is I help them generate sales in the beginning because that's the lifeblood of any companies, but especially for a startup. If they can't generate sales quickly, then they're going to get into zombie mode and eventually die. So what I tend to do is I tell them, look, I'll come and work with you for 3 months and I'll try to generate 3 deals, 3 customers, make them successful. And then after that, you now have a validation that your product is working. You got 3 customers. You can create a marketing program around that. And then I would transition over to somebody who can then make the company grow because they can systemize that whole process and generate more sales. So my strength is in the beginning. That's where real creativity is required, but I can't do it in a particular systematic way because I don't know what way is going to work. But once I know it, then somebody out there who knows how to run a sales team or sales organization can then systematize it and make the company grow because that's going to be measurable. So that means you got to hire people for that type of role. And there are a lot of salespeople who excel in that. They want everything to be structured and they'll just tell them what the quota is and they'll go out and meet it because everything is well supported. When it's a startup, nothing is supported. You don't have infrastructure. You don't even have any kind of structure or any kind of a systematic way of generating sales. And that's what I excel in. And I don't excel in the other part and I don't even enjoy it. So in one sense, I know what I can do well and what I can't do well. And you can't sometimes mix both. It's just not possible. So let me know what you think. I personally think that it can be achieved, but the culture has to change. And that is not that easy to change, folks. It takes a long time to change a culture if it can ever be changed. I always say that you have to destroy the culture to rebuild the culture. But let me know what you think. Can creativity and productivity exist in the same company? And they can both, coexist, and they both are valued equally. Let me know what you think. Okay, thank you.